You're listening to Spainfully Honest, the podcast where me, Paul,
And me, Catherine, talk about what it's really like living in Spain.
each week we'll share stories, tips, and honest conversations about daily life here in Spain. The good, the bad, and everything in between.
Whether you live in Spain or you're thinking about moving or you just want to know a little bit more, you're in the right place.
So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's get Spainfully honest!
Hello and welcome to Spainfully Honest, episode 34. It's all about driving licenses in Spain.
Yeah, driving licenses in Spain.
Why is it so hard to say?
We're doing about renewing, really, aren't we? And as in renewing if you're already here and you've already got one and you want to renew it.
Yeah.
Or if you're coming from another country, you've already got one and you want to make it a Spanish one.
Yeah. So
Effectively.
not getting one,
You're not right from the
not
beginning.
learning to drive.
With that, you need to get a driving school. But
Basically.
effectively, they'll do everything.
They do everything for you.
Yeah. So.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
that.
That's sorted out.
Done.
But there are a lot of different types.
Yeah.
Because it's based on where you come from, whether there's any reciprocal agreements, and things like that. So that's what we've tried to break down.
Yeah. So
There is
it's
a
different.
long list of those
Yeah.
ones,
long list.
and I'm not going to read them out.
No, you
I've
can
got-
look them up.
So, no, they're on the sheet. I've put them
Oh.
on the weekly sheet. We have a help
Weekly
sheet.
sheet.
Yeah, it's become weekly because we've done a lot of help. We've been helping you so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I've put it on the sheet. So there's a big list. There's over 20 that I've got an agreement.
Okay, that's
So
good.
if you're on there, it makes it easier. All it really means is that you don't have to do the test.
Yeah.
That's
a
and it's
big one,
important
though.
because
Big
it is, a lot of people complain that it's quite difficult.
Yes, it is.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Anyway, Catherine,
Oh, yeah.
how has your week been this week?
Yeah, good. I was just saying before we started recording that I was trying to think of something that actually happened this week.
So it's been a quiet week.
Something interesting to say on the podcast. I'm like, no, it's just been a normal week. Jamie went back up to Oviedo on Thursday. And it's just Alex was off though, so he was off for the whole week. So we did stuff together
All right,
as
yeah.
a family.
Oh, that's nice.
I always say family as a joke. And then the other day, Max was spelling family and he spelled it
He
with
put a B in it.
I was like, I'm going to have to stop
You'll have
saying
to change
family.
it. It could be worse, I suppose. But
But the weather has been mixed, hasn't it? So it's not, you can't be outdoors, although it's,
yeah, it sort of rained quite a bit. Well, it didn't rain as much as it said it was going to do. Well,
No.
not here anyway.
no, apparently it's going to, but
Yeah, it was forecast as like yellow warnings and all
Yeah.
sorts, and it never really happened.
it was yellow warnings just for the wind, and that happened.
That did happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
So windy.
And people died and everything. didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
So that's not good.
No. When we were driving up to the airport to bring Jamie back to Alicante Airport,
Yeah.
the billboards, is that what you call them? What the
Yeah, yeah.
announcements?
Yeah.
They were bent back
Yeah,
over, like
yeah.
touching the ground behind them. It's
Yeah.
like so bent back.
Yeah,
That
it's not
was
good.
such strong wind.
Yeah, it was.
I think that area actually had orange warnings. We were a bit better here, was only yellow warnings, but some
Yeah.
areas had orange warnings. I'm a little bit of a cold again this week. I feel like I'm saying that every week at the moment. A bit of a cold. But it's never like a bad one. It's
It's
always
never
kind of,
man flu.
no,
You're lucky, really. Let's be honest. You're
No.
very lucky.
no man flu. But yeah, it was just a normal week. Worked.
Yeah.
We went out for a nice walk on Sunday to the beach while it was a bit clear, but it actually started to spit rain as we were on our way back.
Yeah.
And I took my decorations down
Hey.
on last.
Nice. At least they won't be away for so long.
Yeah.
So
How
they
about-
could get them out soon.
Yeah. What about you? How was your week?
All right. Well, weather related again, but this time, so there was we did the market on Sunday in Buyas, which is a great market. Love it. And the forecast was for rain at 12 o'clock, and it was wrong. It didn't rain.
Huh?
So, not at all. So that was good.
There
Great
you go.
market. Loved that. And also that day was the day Carlos Alcaraz won.
I wondered what you were going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to him, yeah. I mean, he's
Ah,
just a hero.
he's
isn't
a
he?
lad,
What a
isn't he?
great bloke.
Yeah.
So that's good. And then the other thing I did, which is quite important, really, and important for the podcast, is I've gone and complained about my electricity bill to Iberdrola.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've changed, and I've dropped it. Well, so this is the difference when you don't actually do something about it. I did it all online. I went into the office, and to be honest, they weren't that helpful. So I
Oh,
thought I'm
really?
going to try it online. So I tried it online. I've dropped it from 17.1 cents per kilowatt hour to 11.9.
Oof, that's a drop,
It's
isn't
good,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that would, in this month, and what started that was this month's bill, because I've been all flippant about, you must have your heating on, you never want to be cold. Well, the bill came. I know why. So, but the difference it'll make, if I did that bill again at that price, it's looking like €70, I
Yeah.
think. So yeah, and it wasn't that hard. It's called Iberdrola Online, and I just literally did it online.
Oh, cool. That's
Very
good.
Yeah, pleased
Yeah.
with it.
We're-
I also noticed on there, this is how, a lot of people do this switching, don't they, where they switch every year and things like that. I had 2 insurances on there, which were one for being unemployed, if you're autonomo, and one insurance for repairing your white goods if they get damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been unemployed since 2014, as in autonomo since 2014. So that shows how often I look at my bill.
Yeah.
Because it's now 2026. So for 12 years, I've been paying insurance for something that I wouldn't have been able to claim on. It's not a lot, but it adds up over 12 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, now I'm into it now. So I'm printing. I know all about them. There's all these little different charges that you have to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. When I switched over to gas is when they really give you a good breakdown of your bill. Like it's really clear.
Yeah.
And that's when I started like really looking at it properly. Ever since changed over, it's much better. Obviously, since we changed over to gas, the bills are
electric drops.
much better. Like but it's still like
I still
have to pay attention to them.
Yeah, you do. So anyway, but I didn't want to change the provider. I'll consider it. I'll have a look at the bills. But I work on the principle Iberdrola is the biggest, and also all the infrastructure is theirs. So I'm just a bit concerned that the other ones are a bit like temporary. You know, you'll do it and then it won't last that long. So I've stuck with Iberdrola. So you better look after me. Watching. You should be. Yeah, so that was it, really.
That was it?
I think so. Yeah.
So we're diving on then?
Yeah.
Diving in.
So
this week we're going to be talking about all things driving licenses in Spain. So what do you have to do if you have an English, Irish, or other EU or American, which is a non-EU, driving license, but you're now a Spanish resident? What we must stress is that this relates to a standard car driving test, not trucks, buses, bikes, etc. So for anything like that, that's more specific. Well, you'll have to do your own research.
Yeah, because it is specific. It's just like truck driving ones. You have different grades and stuff, and that's a bit technical. So you need to look into that. This is literally changing your car driving license over to a Spanish one or renewing it. Yeah. And we're also going to talk about renewing it when it comes up for renewal.
Yeah.
Because I've done that, and that was really easy.
Oh, good.
As with all the other episodes that we've done on sort of this helping paperwork, we can email you a copy of the information if you just send us an email to hello@spainforthehonest.com. We've had quite a few these past couple of weeks for not for this one, obviously, but for other ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, because what have we got now to recap in case anyone wants one? We've got one about the Padron.
Yeah.
And we've got one about the renewing your TIE.
Yeah.
And then we've got one about digital certificates and signatures.
But yeah, we've had quite a few for both of the other ones. And I did ask for feedback, and one lady put a little bit of feedback on there, which is good. So I've changed it a little bit. But also, if you do get one and then you have a bit of an experience that's different or something changes, send it us and we'll sort of update it. Yeah. It's like we always say, we're not lawyers. I've tried to write it in a way that, it's not written technically, it's written by me, so it's not very technical. One of the jokes was about that from one of the people. But yeah, we're not lawyers. So, I mean, if something changes now, if we don't hear about it, we wouldn't change it on the sheet.
Exactly.
So, but we will do if we know.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Cool. So here we go. So this is from the DGT website. So DGT, what does that stand for? Do we know? So it stands for Dirección General de Tráfico.
Okay.
So Direction General of Traffic.
So it wasn't transport.
Transport. Transport. There you go. So that's what DGT stands for. Okay, so citizens from the European Union and the European Economic Area. So the European Economic Area is Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway. Can't pronounce any word today.
This week.
Can drive with their license as long as it remains valid. Therefore, exchanging your license is entirely voluntary.
From those countries. Yeah.
However, they must register with the DGT within the first 6 months of residency. If you are from outside the European Union and the European Economic Area, your license is only valid for 6 months from the date you acquire permanent residency in Spain. Therefore, you will be required to exchange your license if you wish to continue driving in Spain.
Right.
It's very serious.
From the side. Very serious.
Serious voice.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about, or have you mentioned there, the fact that there is that 2-year?
I think it's in there
It's in
somewhere.
there.
It's
Well,
in a
we'll
bit,
get to it.
yeah.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
I'm
in a bit.
jumping ahead of myself
Yeah.
there.
The non-EU one is the interesting one
Yeah.
because there are differences in the process depending on whether Spain has a reciprocal agreement or not with the home country. So if you're in the UK, there is a reciprocal.
Oh,
if you're
good.
from the UK, there is a reciprocal agreement. And indeed, there are another 20 countries. And this is what I've done. So I've created a list of the 20 countries. And there's a lot of them are like Latin America.
Okay.
But if you're not from one of those, you need to take the theoretical and the practical test.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's a big deal. Like,
a big deal, yeah. I think the theoretical one, you can get translated to English. And
yeah.
you can do it like that. But the driving test one, the instructor will be Spanish and
Of
will
course.
talk to you in Spanish. So if giving you directions or ask you a question, it will ask you in Spanish.
And the only thing as well is, 'cause I spoke to a lot of people when I was doing mine, trying to, and when it's translated to English, it's not English. It's like literally translated. It's like
Yeah.
a Google translated version. And when you're studying, that's fine. But the questions, because the questions are always like trick questions,
Yeah.
it makes you doubt every single question because you're like, is that correctly translated? Is that a trick question? Honestly, it does. It makes it quite difficult. Sorry for the people who have to do the test. Because even if you've just learned Spanish or you are learning Spanish, the terminology is difficult. To do it in Spanish will be hard as well. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry about that. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. It is.
So what countries?
So the countries that listen to the podcast, the main ones.
Yeah.
The people that would need to do the test are the people from the US.
Yeah.
People from Canada.
Yeah.
People from Australia. People from New Zealand. They
Wow.
would all have to take the test at the moment, in case things change. But at the moment, they would need to do that.
Yeah.
So there's not particularly good news.
No, it's not, because, and I'm trying to think as well, like if you're moving to Madrid, you might get away with not driving, I would say. But I would say almost everywhere else, you need to drive, don't you?
I think so. I mean, you could get away with it round here without one, but it depends just on lifestyle, doesn't it?
I
mean,
guess if you've got kids and stuff, you kind of need to drive, don't you?
Yeah. But if you're retiring and you're going to a time where you can walk to a supermarket or get it delivered sensibly, and you perhaps don't need one.
The only thing I would say
we
is,
can't decide that for you. It's time for you.
My mum and dad, who live in this area, so for anyone who's maybe only listening to this for the first time, it's San Pedro del Pinatar in Murcia, so a small-ish town on the coast of Murcia. They thought the same thing. They're retired. They thought, we don't really need a car anymore. And so they sold the car and didn't have a car for a couple of years. And then they realized we kind of do, whether
I think it's because, particularly in this area, perhaps more so than some of the cities, is that, let's be honest, the public transport is not brilliant.
No, it's not good.
So even, like, to get to Dos Mares, it's hard, and it's like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
So that's an issue, isn't it?
So it's things like that. When they want to go somewhere like that, like the shopping centres, when they need to go to the hospital, if they want to go to one of the local cities, there are buses, but you're on it for like an hour and a half to go. Maybe and it's just 25 minutes.
It's the frequency of them and everything. Yeah. I went to Brazil, Barcelona despite this time last year actually, and the public transport system was fantastic. I'm sure it's the same in Murcia, and there. Madrid.
Oh,
well, no, Madrid, yeah. But but there, I think it is that a car would be an issue.
I think so.
It would be a cost that perhaps you don't need, because it was so good. The public transport was brilliant. To the place where we're staying, which was like, I'd say 2 kilometres from the centre, we have the choice of train, bus, or metro.
Yeah. Within
like 100 metres of this place.
Yeah.
So, if you had a car and you didn't have a garage space, you'd be spending ages trying to find somewhere to park, etc., etc. And there were sufficient supermarkets close enough by that you don't need one. So it does depend where you go to, doesn't it?
They started getting like the shopping delivered and stuff, which is a great service from Mercadona.
Mercadona. My mum does. I mean, that's what mum's got a car, but she gets it delivered all the time.
They also now got a car back because they went for a couple of years without having a car. They decided actually do need a car, so they got the car back, but they still get the shopping delivered by Mercadona.
My mum did.
So and I don't drive. But I have got a lot of experience of trying to get the driver's license. So I speak from experience when I speak about, trying to do it in English, doing it in Spanish, all this kind of stuff. But the actual driving of the cars, I haven't gotten to that bit yet. Yeah, so I don't drive. And in this area, you need to. Because like, even just like Max wanted to go and see K-pop Demon Hunters in Lasagna Boulevard. Alex's sister had to take us, because I couldn't drive him up and Alex is in work.
Yeah.
Or, Max's school is 2 towns away. You, of course, can't walk there. You have to drive there and you have to drive back. Yeah. Things like that, If I wanted to go to the hospital, of course, I couldn't drive there. So I kind of rely on people to bring me places and collect me and all that kind of malarkey, So it is annoying. So I would say you do need to drive. But again, if you're in a city or a place in Spain where you think you don't need to drive, let us know. I lived in Madrid and didn't feel any pressure whatsoever to drive,
I'm sure it definitely is big cities. It'd be interesting to know sort of coastal touristy areas, whether you can.
I mean, I follow this American family on Instagram. I can't remember, Go and Do Good or something like that. It's a really good one if you follow her. She's really good. And they moved from Madrid to the Costa del Sol.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of comparisons. And actually, they've decided after 6 months, they've moved back to Madrid.
Right.
And the whole time they were like, oh, they wanted to move to Malaga. I think they went to Torremolinos in the end. No, they went to, is it close by, must be close by, Cancelado, that town? So they went to that area and they've decided to move back. But their whole thing was, we're moving to the coast. We're not going to have to need cars. We're going to have bikes. We're going to cycle everywhere. And I feel like that's really nice in theory. But I think when the realities of life, the cycling everywhere, it doesn't actually, And they were surprised at how rainy it was down there. You were just speaking about that. Same, you get more rain
it's
down
affected
there.
by the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and all the other thing you'd have to consider with that is that how seasonal is the place that you're going to. Yeah. So you could have great communication June, July, August, or whatever, and then suddenly it gets switched off.
Yeah.
So there's loads to do.
Yeah.
That's a separate
So
thing.
basically what we're trying to say is...
We're not trying to put you on getting a driving license.
You might very
it's
well...
It's not easy,
exactly.
But it might be worth it.
It'll definitely be worth it. Yeah, I think you'll have to do it. Anyway, so...
Right, so
let's start with those countries.
Yeah, so
which countries are those? The ones who need to do the driving test.
You need one that needs to do the driving test, yeah. So what you need to do is you need to get onto Google. As we've said before, we recommend Google just because you can translate in the translate bar really easy. So go onto Google search now, type this in Spanish. Canjes, how would you say that? Canjes DGT. So CANJES and then DGT.
Yeah.
And what that'll do is it then gives you options that come up at the bottom because you're not on the page yet, and click on the one that is Sede Electronica DGT.
Yeah.
That site. If you click on that, and then it takes you, then you need to say, click on the option Canjes de Permisos Extranjeros.
That sounds like Rio de Janeiro's.
Rio de Janeiro's. Yeah. Which will take you to the page, giving you all the information and allow you to print off the application form. And again, when you're doing that, go onto the Google for the translation and print one off in English as well. So print the Spanish one because you'll have to fill the Spanish one out if you're going to fill it out. But print the English version off as well. So you've got something to. That's if you speak English. If you know which don't
Google would let you do it well.
Google will let you to do them all, but the English one does work well. So do that and it'll help you filling it out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. And a little shout out to the DGT website. I think you can change the language on there. Once, of course, you have to find it first. I don't know, but probably wouldn't let you change the language of the forms.
No, it doesn't.
As far as the navigating the website and for information, I think you can change it to English. And it's quite an intuitively laid out website. It's not a difficult one to move around on.
Straightforward.
Because some are hard to figure out, aren't they? But this one's not bad.
And also as well, I mean, I didn't do it for this one, but I did do it for something else the other day. If you type in, help me fill out the Spanish DGT application form in English, they give you some quite good information on there about certain boxes and everything.
Yeah.
So I was looking at one the other day for renewing the Padron, and one of the questions was 4.2, and there was like 4 answers, and it was a bit spurious as to which one you put. So I'd put that in, when filling out the form, what you put in section 4.2, bang, it came up, and it said what each one was. Very clever.
The AI now that they use on the website's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, going off topic. Quite a fan of the AI that Google uses because promotes our podcast.
Hey, well done, Google.
We love
We
Google.
love you.
Love
We love
Google.
you, Google. You and Mercadona, we love you loads.
We do. Okay, so I feel like there's been a lot of conversation in between there. So what are the countries that need to do it all again? So it was United States, it was Canada and Australia. Of the main
New
people that-
Zealand,
and
our
New
main
Zealand.
listeners.
Are the main,
Yeah.
our main listeners.
But there are about another.
There's lots
No,
of them.
there's hundreds of others.
Oh, right,
there's
that
only-
many.
Well, if you think about how many countries, 180.
Yeah.
The EU ones don't, and the reciprocal 20 massive plus or minus don't.
So everyone else.
So
then.
everybody else has
Okay.
to. Yeah.
So what do you have to do if you need to do everything, basically? So you need to take both the theory and the practical test. And the latter, as Paul said, can only be done at an official driving school. So we suggest at this point you do some research in your area for recommended schools and make contact with them, because they will make the whole process much easier. They will.
You've
yeah.
got to use them anyway. So speak to them earlier rather than
Yeah.
just go to them when you've passed the theory and then start. Go
Mm.
to them at the beginning, because once they know you're going to be a customer with them, they'll help you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you can do the theory like classes and stuff with them. You
Yeah,
know?
if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to. And they give you books and they give you like tests.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
mean,
call them?
I know that the one that Lottie went to. So Lottie didn't have a driving license, so she was doing it from the beginning.
Yeah.
But there were people there who were effectively renewing. So they
Renewing.
had like
Yeah.
2 courses. They had the from the beginners, people who've never stepped in a car, never looked at a sign or whatever. But then there was another group, and it was a lot less money than the main
Yeah.
one, to effectively renew.
Yeah.
And they knew, that the school knew what the differences were.
Yeah.
Roundabouts, they knew the main things that were different.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth doing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And they're usually lovely people, like really nice.
And you're paying them,
Yeah,
so
of
they've got
course.
to help you.
They're
They're not
looking
like
after
a
you.
government thing that can just be in bad mood with you. You're
Yeah.
paying them, so they're gonna.
Yeah,
they're
you're
gonna
their
help you.
client, so yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to help you. And then you'll also need a medical exam. So if you type in Centro de Reconocimiento de Conductores, again in Google, you'll see a map with all the authorized centers. But again, if you are with a school, they will help you with this. They probably know ones that you
Yeah.
can go to and everything, tell you where they are. And this is for the eyesight and hearing and some basic hand-eye coordination.
That bit's not difficult. I mean, I've done that. So I had to renew mine recently. We'll talk about renewing later, but that was straightforward.
I mean,
Yeah, for some people.
this is why I feel like the universe sent me a message. I don't think I'm supposed to drive.
Right.
I think that I'm getting a message from someone who's saying don't drive, because I have gone so far as to do this. You have to when you're doing you go to the school and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing all that bit to get you ready for everything. You have to go and do this bit, which is the reconocimiento médico. When I had to do it, I had to do that hand-eye coordination bit. So it's like you've got to.
It's a bit like I describe it as what was that game called when electronic games came out? It was a bit like tennis. You had to move the thing up and down, and the like a tennis ball went between the two. It reminds me a bit of that.
It's like you had 2 levers in your hand, and then you kind of had to move.
Follow a windy road.
Yeah,
don't you?
follow a windy road with both hands. I wasn't
No?
good at it. No. And the girl was like looking at me, who was in the room with me. She was like looking at me as if to say, you just have to yeah. She kept telling me, and I was like, I clearly know you have to. I'm trying to do it.
I'm trying.
This is me trying to do it. And it kind of reinforced. I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm really bad. Like I knew I had bad hand-eye coordination, but it like reinforced just how bad my hand. Like I'm not even great on a bike. I'll be honest. I'm not even great on a bike.
Absolutely, isn't it?
I'm just not
There
good
you
at
go.
it.
That's why they do the test.
And
I
that's why
suppose.
she passed me,
Oh,
which was worrying.
very worrying. Yeah. Yeah. Did she say to you like, I think you should buy a 4x4?
So yeah, so that's one of the things you have to do. Anyway, so you so basically medical disclosure as well as part of it. So yeah, so basically your eyesight, your hearing, basic hand-eye coordination that we just spoke about, and medical disclosure. So whether you have a chronic illness or if you take medications and things like that.
Yeah.
And then if they have to do additional hearing and sight tests over the standard ones, you may need to pay a little bit more. And then a little note here: remember to take your driving glasses. Like
Yeah, if you wear glasses for driving, obviously take them, because the eye test it's a straightforward eye test.
Yeah.
But it is based on driving, so you can put your glasses on. It's not
Yeah.
like an eye test to prove the power of
Yeah.
your glasses. It's to prove that you can see
You
with your glasses on.
Yeah, you can see when you're
Yeah.
driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hearing test is mad, isn't it? It's like a thing he holds by your ear and just like dongs it.
No, mine was a headphone one.
Oh, really?
That was only recently.
Oh, mine
yeah.
was oodles ago, maybe 5 years ago.
Oh no, this is like 6 months.
Yeah. And he went like in the ding.
It's effectively like that. It's just it's quiet, and then a sort of sound goes, and you have to you just have to put your hand up to see if you've heard it. And then it got to a point where he'd obviously turned it off, and you would.
But I wondered why that one was a good test when he was stood there beside me, because I could quite clearly see when he was going to do it.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, unless he didn't do it, he might have just. And you're going, ah!
No, my eyesight and my hearing was never anything I was bothered about. So that was fine. I just thought it was a weird way to test your hearing. But the hand-eye
I was a bit worried about the eyesight one just because I've got them on now. I don't need them. So I thought, should I put them on and then do it?
Yeah.
But then if they then make a note that you have driving glasses, then it becomes more complicated. So I didn't wear them, and I was fine because it was. So I'm close up. I'm close up. But the point, I'm sure, when at some point I need driving glasses, because then I think there's a law where you have to have 2 pairs. You have to have 1 pair in the car permanently, and you have to wear another.
Oh, really?
So you need to look at that. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, so if you've done that, you've done your test, you've passed that, you've passed your theory and your driving test. Then, because you're effectively, the way you have to think about this, if you're one of those people, you're not renewing, you get in your first license. So you're like a first person getting a license. So you're thinking, well, why do they need photographs and things like that? It's because you're not listed with the DGT.
Yeah.
So this is what you're doing. So it's as if as if you're 17 or 18 or whatever, and you're getting your license for the first time. So when you've passed the tests, you've passed the medical, you need to book an appointment, which you do on the same site, the CanHes DGT site. For the appointment, you'll need a completed application form, which you printed off before and filled out, the original valid driving license that you had before. I would recommend that you take a photocopy of it and keep that just in case things happen in the future. Yeah. Your passport and a valid Spanish residency card, an NIE or a TIE. And then this medical fitness report, which was what we were talking about before, and it has to be from one of those centres that recognises the GDT. You can't just go to your doctor and ask them for one. I mean, it may be that they are recognised, but it has to be one of these driving centre ones. But he wouldn't have the machine, so it'd have to be one of those centres. Yeah. 2 recent ID style photographs, 32 by 26. Proof of residency, so your empadronamiento. So that's good. So what's the other one if you haven't got that? You have to pay the fees, which is done on the same website. And because there's not loads of different things to pay for, it's fairly straightforward. As of February 26th, when this is recorded, it was €28.30.
Yeah, not much at all.
No, and it'll give you a receipt, print the receipt and take that with you.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Excellent. And then at the appointment, you need to submit your current license. And as we just said, we suggest that you keep photocopies of it. And you'll get a 3-month paper temporary license. Your license will arrive in the post between 6 and 8 weeks approximately after that. Yeah.
When we're talking about the other ones in a minute, but mine came well within the time.
Oh, good.
It wasn't that first one, but obviously. The reason for doing that explanation first is that all the others are effectively the same with less.
But easier.
You'd have to do less things. Yeah. So this next one is that if you're from the UK, so they've got a reciprocal agreement, so then you don't have to do the test part, the theory or the practical. So then all you do, you effectively start further down the sheet. You find the medical centre using the
it's hard to say, isn't it?
It is very hard.
Reconocimiento médico.
Yeah. So send us an email and we'll send you a copy, and it gives you the site. You fill out the application form again, like you did before.
Yeah.
Book an appointment on the DGT site, and you will need to take the form again, filled out. Original valid passport, current UK driving licence.
Yeah.
DVLA, that is different. A DVA check code.
What's that?
And what this is a code that authorises the Spanish government to speak to the UK government about your current licence. So points, disqualifications, etc. I literally typed that into Google, followed the instructions, and it effectively gives you a code it verifies who you are by your driving license, and you effectively tell it it's okay for the Spanish government to contact them. But the code number they give you only lasts for 21 days. So, when you're doing all this process and you're about to do that part as close as possible to the time that you do it.
It's important, isn't it? All these timings and everything.
So again, it's on the sheet. And then you'll also need the medical, as we explained before, exactly the same, and the proof of payment. Again, the proof of payment is the same, whether it's 28.87 if you do it now.
Cool. Do I have to say again the appointment you'll need to submit your current license?
Not really. It was just you still need to do it.
Okay.
For this one.
So again, times 2.
Yeah, you need to submit your license. So we suggest you take a copy of it. So that's that.
Cool.
Right. So the EU one, if you need it because your Irish one is running out. So the only reason why you do this, because they do accept that you can keep your current one as long as it's valid. Same again. So you're renewing effectively. So it's a bit like the one for the UK driving license, but you don't need the DVLA, DVA
No,
check.
you just need to get the reconocimiento médico.
Yeah.
And
that. But you will need to take your passport with you because your green card hasn't got
a picture on it.
Yeah. Right. So that was effectively, you've come over wherever you've come from and you want to effectively get a driving license for Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where did we mention about the 2-year business? That's not very clear. It's about the kind of the Irish people and the.
No, I mean you don't have to do it if your license is valid within a valid date.
But then there is somewhere that says you need to do it after 2 years, and that's a bit that caused a lot of confusion for people, because I'm sure on the DGT website it says that if you're planning to live here, you will need to change it after 2 years. And people used to always ask me about that.
But we have said that you have to do the registry by 6 months.
Yeah, but they say you have to change it to a Spanish driver's license if you're going to be living here after 2 years. And I always understood it, because people always ask me about it, and I always understood it to be that, because obviously if you're an expat, you're moving to Spain, but you plan to move back to your home country. So I always understood it to mean that those people wouldn't have to change their license to a Spanish license. But if you're in what's classed more as an immigrant rather than a technical expat, you're moving to Spain because you want to live here forever, or for the foreseeable future. Then after 2 years, you would have to, or by 2 years, you would have to change your driver's license over to a Spanish driver's license. It's not very clear though. It's not very clear.
I think I saw that on ChatGPT, but it didn't say that on the DGT one. So I'd used the DGT one because it says that's where it said about the 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
But just keep it in mind, because I think that if you're change and you have residency in Spain, so you're not like an expat would plan to move to Spain for maybe 3 or 4 years, whatever, for work, for whatever, because they want their kids to learn Spanish, but they always plan to move back. Then I don't think they're required to change, depending on what country you come from. But then there are people who move over here and their residency status is permanent resident. I think then you're required to change by 2 years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. I think they recommend, though, it's just easier all around, that if you're planning to live here, to change it to the Spanish license, especially if you're one of those countries where it's pretty easy to change them, it's worthwhile doing, right?
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. I mean, you've definitely got to register it in 6 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's 100%. Well, what if you already have a Spanish license and you just need to renew your license? So I guess it's more straightforward. It is
straightforward, yeah. So they've got all your details already. So a lot of the stuff is already done. You have to update it. So you have to update the picture, because you've got older, I guess. Yeah. You have to update the padron to make sure that it's is valid. You're still living here, and perhaps your address has changed, etc., etc. And you have to do the medical to prove that you're still fit to drive. Now this is, you can do this without doing it through one of those medical centres.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be an authorised medical centre, but you can send off the information yourself if you want and do it separately. But for the difference in price, I worked mine out what it would have cost for me to do it independently and what it cost me doing everything through the medical centre where they took my photograph. So I did the medical, they took my photograph, and then they sent all the documentation for me for the replacement license effectively. The difference was €8.
Oh, wow.
So by the time, if I'd have done it myself, I'd have to drive home, then find a post office or whatever to send it all to, take my own photograph again separately and send it. The difference was €8. So, I mean, I might have been lucky, but €8, it's not worth the hassle. And also, you know, nothing, you know, they literally kept everything and they did it all there and they sent it. And they said it would take, I think they said 3 to 4 weeks, and it literally came in 3 weeks.
Oh, brilliant.
So, you know, if I were you, I would do it.
Yeah.
The total cost for everything, including the medical and the renewing, was about €70. And I think that's fairly average. Between 70 and 90 seems to be about the price for renewing the driving license. But that does include them doing it. So if they don't do that part, you effectively have to have the medical and keep the piece of information, get your photographs, and then effectively send all that off. It's not done by appointment, and they're trying to get away from appointments. You have to send it all away. So if you are going to do it with them, take your ID, take the picture, take your current driver license, your padron. We always say it should be less than 3 months old. It says in various places that it can be that if it just hasn't changed, it's fine to use an older one. But for how easy it is to do online, I would just take a new one.
Definitely.
And it says on the site that they'll give you they will give you a temporary license, like a piece of paper, because you've had to hand the old one in. Yeah. I would again take a copy of the old one, just a photocopy, so you've got proof in case it goes missing.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about giving it to them, is that they do all the recorded delivery and everything. So once you've signed that they've got the documents, then that's better. And it says on the site that it'll take between 3 to 6 weeks to come. Mine literally came in 3 weeks, and it was posted to my house.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I got another 10 years at that point. I think over 70 it becomes 5 years. And if there's any medical issues, it actually becomes less again. But that's on your personal circumstances, really.
Very good. That's pretty.
The mismatch.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's pretty straightforward, but the renewal is pretty straightforward.
The renewal is very straightforward.
If you come from one of the countries that has to basically do it from scratch, that's complicated, I think, isn't it? And then obviously if you're from the UK or anywhere where they have an agreement, also fine. You're just basically sharing your information with them. So if you've got points and stuff, we'll obviously keep that in mind. As the point system, is that universal or is it different in every country?
No, I think it varies by country. So I don't know how they relate to that.
Yeah.
They do have a point system here, but it works back to front. So in the UK, you grow points, and when you get to a certain number, then effectively you become banned or you have to do a retest. Here, you start with so many points, I think it's 12, and then it goes down, and when you get to 0, you have to do a retest. So yeah, be careful.
Yeah, and I know someone who had to do a retest, and basically it's from starting from scratch, but like those people, you're split in a different group when you go to driving classes. They know that you know how to drive. Like it's just you need to kind of go back over things.
You just drive badly.
You just drive badly, yeah. And then you just need to, need to do the tests, the theory tests, you need to do the practical driving test again, and then, and all that, and the reconnaissance of the medical, and you have to pay for everything again.
So it is a fine in that respect, even more than the fine that you got for getting all the points.
The driving schools, if you want to do everything with them, obviously I'm in a smallish town here on the coast of Spain, so about €270 it costs, and that means you can go to any amount of classes that you want. You can literally sit there all day if you wanted. They give you books, and they have like an online system where you can practice like the tests online over and over again.
Like mock tests, can't you?
Yeah. And some people don't even go to the classes. They just continually do the mock tests over and over and over again, so they get used to the questions. But I think if you actually want to drive well, I think the classes are really good. And the guys who are teaching the lessons are usually quite, funny. The only thing is that they kind of turn me off a little bit driving. They make it, but of course, these guys are all doing it in Spanish. You have to be able to speak Spanish to be able to go and do those classes. So
I mean, in the car taking the test, it's going to be effectively basic conversation, left, right, stop. It won't be. You won't have to have a fully fledged conversation in there, but you'll need to know the basics. Definitely.
Yeah, well, they might say, when we get to the end of this road here on the left, take it. And it might be, depending on the area, a bit more colloquial. well. So yeah, I would recommend that you do your Spanish before.
It is one of those things that you don't have to do it in your own town, so it's not linked to your padron. So you can take your test in another area. So if there is an area near you that is very expat, very strong expat area,
Yeah.
it might be worth doing the test there
Yeah.
because there may be a bit more leeway with the English.
Yeah, and then the test is usually your formal practical test is usually then in the closest city to that driving centre.
For the route, which is the same as the UK.
That's the same, is it?
The only difference you do get here, which surprised me at first, is there could be 3 or 4 people in the car.
Yeah.
Because you don't just do it on your own. So there'll be like an hour window. Your test will probably only be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But there'll be 3 other people doing it, or 2 other people, because there'll be the instructor and also the examiner and possibly 2 people in that. And you have to sit in for the whole 3.
Yeah, and that's the same for when you're doing your practical driving lessons.
Yeah.
Your part could be driving for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but you could be out for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
It's annoying that, actually, I have to say. But yeah, that's how they do it over here in Spain. So if you are like self-conscious about it, which I imagine most people are when you're first learning.
I think you could probably pay not to do that, but it costs you more money.
A hell of a lot of money, I imagine, yeah. Because the money that I said there, €270, is literally for up to the theory.
Yeah.
So then when you want to start doing your practical lessons, because everyone wants to do a different amount of lessons, they usually charge for those individually.
Yeah.
So you would say, oh, give me 5, or I'll just do 3, or I'll need 10, or whatever you happen to be.
They do intensive courses, because Millie did an intensive one. She passed first time. And they do have the situation where you need to check with the school, but some will pick you up from home. Some you have to go to the place.
Yeah.
Others will pick you up from home. Lottie's did, because we lived in the countryside, and the nearest town was like probably about 10 kilometres away, and they picked her up.
Yeah.
So she tended to do it on her own more.
That's handy then, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, so there is a difference.
Yeah. And as well as that, keep in mind, wherever you happen to be, find out what your driving school base is. Because some people in this area prefer to do their driving test in Cartagena rather than Murcia.
I suppose it's towns that you know as well, isn't it?
Quieter ones, maybe less traffic, maybe the roads might be a bit better to do your test on. Keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, definitely. Ask around, ask on Facebook where people have done the test.
Yeah, because they all knew. They all said, oh, as soon as you joined a certain driving school or whatever, they said, oh, so you're in this area. That means your test is going to be in Cartagena. And I was like, oh, is that good?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
So, yeah. That's everything, is it?
Yeah. Well, we just got there was quite a bit of waffle in there. But we have got the sheet.
Yeah.
So if you want that information, sort of written with not as much waffle in it, if you send an email to hello@spainfullyhonest.com, just put driving license renewal or driving license, and I'll send you a copy of it. Yeah. It's more straightforward. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Don't be put off. Enjoy. See you later.
Bye. Take care.